Yo, what is up guys, Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So obviously this weekend we have the heavyweight rematch between Alexander Povetkin and Dillian Whyte'. Now I have done an official prediction for this fight, that is on my channel. If you want to see that, you can check that video out. But in short, I am picking Dillian Whyte in this rematch. But there was one area in that prediction video which I kind of neglected to mention. Now going into this rematch, we've heard a lot about punch resistance, but surprisingly enough, mainly in regards to Alexander Povetkin, who actually knocked out Dillian Whyte in the first fight. A lot of people, including myself, are kind of questioning where Povetkin's chin is at these days. In that first fight, I felt Povetkin wasn't responding as well to the power shots to the head as he did in previous fights earlier on in his career. We even saw that in the Michael Hunter fight where he was hurt a couple of times by a non-puncher in Michael Hunter. So, you know, I certainly think Alexander Povetkin's chin has deteriorated in recent fights, in recent years. Obviously that is normal for a 41-year-old heavyweight who's been in some tough fights, let's face it. But one area where I've not really seen much discussion is in regards to the chin of Dillian Whyte. Yeah, we know he got knocked out, but nobody's really talking about him going into this second fight in regards to that chin. Now, Dillian Whyte is a guy who is an action fighter. He's not really defensively minded, and he's a guy who can get caught a lot. And we've seen that in his career to date. Obviously, back in, December 2015, he got brutally knocked out by Anthony Joshua. He had success in that fight, but he took a lot of shots and he was brutally knocked out. And in several fights since then, Dillian Whyte's been hurt several times. We go back to that Robert Helenius fight where he was rocked badly by a Helenius jab. His eyes went in the back of his head. Both Derek Chisora fights, if you watch those fights, Dillian Whyte was hurt in both of those fights. He was put down against Oscar Rivas. He was badly hurt against Joseph Parker. Dillian Whyte in recent years has sustained a lot of heavy punches, a lot of heavy punishment, and also bear in mind, Dillian Whyte is a guy who is renowned for having hard spars. He's not one of those guys who engages in technical sparring, he goes all out in sparring. And once again, that's another way to really add wear and tear on the body, including the chin. He's a guy who's taken a lot of punishment. And naturally, the more punches you take to the head, the more punishment you take, your chin is only really going to get worse 9 times out of 10. There are examples of guys who have taken a lot of punishment in their careers and their chin's never really altered all that much. You know, more recently, Kyle Froch, for example. Historically, Jake LaMotta. Even someone like Manny Pacquiao, brutally knocked out by Juan Manuel Marquez. And at the time, people were actually questioning whether Manny Pacquiao's punch resistance would be completely gone after that knockout. But obviously 9 years later, he fought for hard punching Keith Thurman and took several hard shots. So listen, some fighters can take obscene amount of punishment and their chins don't really get affected. It's certainly possible, but 9 times out of 10, you know, once your chin gets cracked and once you've been through many wars and been dropped many times, eventually that punch resistance is only going to decline. Have we got to that stage with Dillian Whyte? I think naturally, you know, I don't think Dillian Whyte has a bad chin, but, you know, we have seen this guy now in multiple fights. He's been knocked out twice, and he's been hurt in multiple fights in a row. Is that punch resistance now on the decline? And another thing to consider, is Dillian Whyte thinking about that? Because psychologically, and it's a weird one, but if you go into that ring with no belief in your chin or concerns about your chin, it actually increases the likelihood of you getting knocked out. Because that's in the back of your mind, potentially in the ring you will be anxious, you won't be doing things that you should be doing, and you'll give the opponents, in this case Povetkin, a chance to land one of those big shots that could hurt you. Another thing I've noticed from some fighters when they've been knocked out or caught badly or badly hurt, etc., they actually get to the point where, I don't want to say they're scared of taking a punch, but they don't embrace that the same way they used to, you know. before they might actually see the punch coming and brace for it and take it. But once they've been knocked out, the confidence in the chin isn't the same, and you'll catch these guys maybe looking away when a shot is coming at them, or closing their eyes kind of thing, instead of bracing for the shot. And things like that actually really do reduce your punch resistance. If you look away when a shot is coming, you're not going to exactly know when it lands, for example, and it's a greater chance for it to knock you out because you can't brace for it. If you close your eyes when a shot is coming, you can't brace for it as well. Once again, that's more likely to knock you out. Believe it or not, there is an art to taking a punch, you know? So, confidence can actually affect all of those things when you take a punch. So if Dillian goes in there with the anxiety that his chin isn't what it was, or it's shaky, that can definitely have a bad impact on this fight for him, whether it be just the performance in general, or even the result of this fight. So, it's an interesting one. I've not really heard too many people talk about Dillian Whyte's chin going into this fight. He's been through a gauntlet, Dillian Whyte, of hard fights. And physically, that could certainly have taken a toll on Dillian Whyte. And certainly mentally, you've got to be something special if you don't go in that ring with some sort of anxiety after what happened in that first fight. You know, Dillian Whyte's got a lot to come back from. Don't get me wrong, I'm picking him to win this fight, but I'm not confident. I can't sit here and say that I'm confident in my prediction. The only thing I am confident in, or relatively confident in, is that this fight will not go the distance. I have question marks over both guys' chin, mainly Povetkin because of his age and, you know, what type of career he's had, and, you know, Dillian Whyte because of the punishment he's taken, the fact that he's been knocked out badly twice, and, you know, his mentality going into this second fight. There's a lot to consider here, in my opinion, in regards to the punch resistance. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully it's a shootout. Hopefully Dillian, you know, can get in there and he doesn't have that anxiety of what happened first time around. Because if he doesn't have that anxiety, he's got a much better chance of winning as far as I'm concerned. It's going to be very interesting. Share your thoughts below. Do you believe Dillian Whyte's chin has been cracked? Do you believe he can take the same punch he used to back in the day a few years ago? Do you believe he's now showing the signs of war? Or do you think it was just one of those things where he got caught with a big shot and his punch resistance has never changed? I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts. Share them below. Tell me what you thought of this video. And also tell me how you think this fight's going to go. Again, I've done my prediction video. It's on my channel, so you can check that out. If you want my official breakdown, a longer video on what I believe both guys should do, check that video out. It's on my channel. But yeah, share your thoughts below. Smash the like, hit subscribe. Peace.